Happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go over 3 things that I would recommend doing before diving into any financial plan. These will help you stay on track, stay motivated, and probably get much more out of your financial journey than if you just skipped over them. So let's dive in. The first thing that I would recommend you do before starting your financial journey is creating a financial vision for yourself. And you can make a vision board or something like that to really help you. But this is something that's going to help you recognize, why am I even taking this journey in the first place? I know for me, before I got a vision board and really was clear on what I was trying to accomplish, I always just had no plan, or it's kind of like where you have no vision, you don't really follow through typically with your plan. And so having a vision and a vision board can really help with that. Whether there's a certain type of house you want, a certain type of lifestyle you want, is there a certain type of organization you would love to be involved with? Do you want to have a huge family, a small family? What type of life do you want to live? And really getting really clear on that and putting it on a board and deciding exactly what that vision is for you and your family, if you're married or if you're single, no matter where you are. The more clear you can be on that, the higher the likelihood that you will succeed and actually get there. Because that is the whole purpose why you're even taking this journey. And unless you get clear on why you're trying to do all of these sacrifices and make these different changes, it's really important to recognize, where exactly am I trying to go? So that would be the first thing that I would recommend, and has really helped me and Ben stick to our goals. And these are some of the things that we have on our vision board, just to help us, stay focused on everything. But of course, there's a lot of different things that go into all of this. But when you take the time to go ahead and try to get focused in one area of life, you'll notice that it usually goes in other areas. But these would be our financial ones right here. So there you have it. Step 2 is familiarize yourself with the different financial philosophies out there and the different types of programs. And I have a couple of resources here that I've read. So the first is Your Money Life in Your 20s. And this is helpful just to maybe get an awareness of financial literacy and just have some insight. I don't know if I don't really remember, but I don't think this is the best book for having an actual plan. But it can at least get you enlightened and talking about finances and just giving you insight into that, because unfortunately this is an area where a lot of people just lack knowledge, and because we lack knowledge, therefore we make bad decisions which do not lead us closer to our vision but farther away from it. And one of the programs that's out there is actually through the Dave Ramsey program. The Dave Ramsey program is the 7 baby steps. If you want to get an insight into his philosophy, Dave Ramsey's philosophy, there's this book, The Total Money Makeover, and he's going to talk about his philosophy, how he's gotten there, kind of his experience, and of course lots of stories of people who have followed his plan and kind of their results. So this is something, if you want to get familiar with him. I know he can be a controversial figure. Yes, is he intense? Absolutely. There are definitely sometimes I'm like, wow, you could have said that in a much nicer way. So take some of the stuff he says with a grain of salt. But that's the thing, you realize with any of these financial plans that there's always room for it to be tweaked to adjust to your lifestyle or your family, because every family is different. It's not like you have to follow everything to the T. But if you do decide that you like that, then this is the follow-up. This is the actual course, Financial Peace, and they have an internet series of videos which walks you through all the steps, and it's really helpful. This can at least give you a blueprint to get started, and then of course later on, once you're able to understand more about all of this, then you'll be able to make wiser decisions, and you can kind of, decide how much you want to stick to it or not. But that is something that Ben and I are currently doing, and I'll probably be sharing more later, exactly where we're at with that process. And for those of you who might be curious about the steps that are outlined, I will include somewhere up here a little graphic that quickly goes over the 7 steps. I was planning to make a video this week on it, but I thought it's more important to discuss, firstly, the why behind financial planning and maybe some of the steps I would do before I would actually jump into any of these. So take a peek at those. If they intrigue you, then definitely recommend checking more deeply into this. The third and final step with any financial plan that you do choose that I would recommend to do is to find an accountability partner, whether that be your spouse, if they're really good. Usually there's either going to be one who's more of the nerd with the budget, and then there's usually what you call more of the free spirit who's like, woo, who cares about the budget? Let's just live and have fun. And so usually if you're, in a relationship, hopefully there's a balance there. And if you're not in a relationship, then find maybe a friend who you could do this with and keep each other on track. Maybe you're trying to pay off school loans or, pay off that car, or whatever the case. Having that accountability can really help you get to your goals. And it kind of gives you that extra push, knowing that there's going to be someone who, is doing this with you, or somebody who's at least holding you accountable. That can be really, really helpful. So that would be probably the third thing that I would say that can radically help you get to where you want sooner and faster. So I hope those 3 steps are helpful for you, and that it's encouraging to you if you've been thinking about maybe getting your finances in order, or getting more financially literate about what's going on, and just understanding the ins and outs of the economy, the finances of all finances, and just how everything affects you in your day-to-day life and how it affects you getting to those goals that we talked about. Then I definitely recommend starting here and then moving onward from there. Of course, I wish you all the best in your journey, and I'm excited to share more about Ben and my journey, so that way maybe that can be encouraging to you and insightful. We have chosen to do the Dave Ramsey program, at least for now, and so I probably will be making more videos about that. In case you have questions, feel free definitely to comment below. As always, if you're new watching this video and any of this sounds interesting to you, I'm a young person, I'm married, and there's going to be some life changes coming up, please hit subscribe, stay up to date, and you can hit the notification bell if you want to receive notifications as well. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video today, and thanks for supporting the channel. Hope you have an amazing Saturday and a wonderful weekend. Bye guys!